So, 42 years ago, my mom, at the age of 59, um, didn't survive the exact same surgery I had 7 weeks ago. And in this video, I want to talk a little bit about that, and especially want to talk about prayer. So when I was in the hospital, probably about 5 days, the doctors still haven't made a decision yet on what they were going to do, which route they were going to take. It was interesting because a cardiologist came in and he said they were talking with 4 other cardiologists, which I thought was really cool. And they were trying to make a decision on what they needed to do. But down deep, I knew there were 2 options. One option was going to be a stent, and one option was going to be a bypass surgery, which really scared me because of what happened to my mom during that surgery. Anyway, after they did the angiogram, they found out that I was really blocked. And even though I prayed so hard that it would be a stent, it turned out that they decided they needed to do bypass surgery. So at that point, my anxiety level just shot to the roof. The cool thing though was it only lasted a real short time. One of the reasons I think for that is, while I was in the hospital, my first few days, I had a few people visit me, but I had people pray over my hospital bed, which is such an amazing feeling, And then I had people on Facebook praying for me. I had my Bible group praying for me. My sister in Chicago said she had her whole church praying for me. My son here had his church praying for me. So I knew a lot of people were praying for me, and we really felt that. So the day before my surgery, and actually the day of my surgery, Pat and I were in such a calm mode. I described it as being in a giant group hug. It felt great. And Pat described it as being in just a cloud of love. And that's what I think prayer does for you. Like Philippians 4, 6, 7 says about praying, pray, and then you'll experience God's peace, which exceeds all of our understanding. And I believe that's what happened to us. Now, at no point did I think prayer was a guarantee that I was going to make it or not, because when you pray, sometimes the answer is yes, and sometimes the answer is no. But through it all, I believe that God will always be with you. Now, getting back to my mom, when my mom was going through her bypass surgery, we were in the waiting room. And I prayed really, really hard. And the doctor came in and he let us know that, hey, my mom's heart wasn't handling the extra blood flow. So they were going to try a few things, and he was going to let us know what was going to happen. So at this point, I went to this little chapel in the church, which was really peaceful, and I kneeled down, and I prayed harder than I ever prayed in my life. And it was like, God, you just can't take my mom. I mean, we lost my dad not more than 2 years ago. I think it was a year and whatever months. We lost a brother-in-law way too young. My mom lost her sister. We lost an aunt just a little bit before that. It was like, Lord, we can't deal with another loss like this. Besides that, my wife was over 8 months pregnant, so we're going to have her first grandchild. And my mom actually already bought diapers for our baby. And it was like, Lord, please, this can't happen. And then my mom died. But the thing I experienced right after that wasn't this really bad feeling. It was this warm feeling that said that it was like the thing I pictured was my mom being with my dad, my mom being with her sister, And I remember when I was a kid, my mom always told me this story when she was 10 years old. Her mom had pneumonia, and one night she couldn't kiss her mom like she always did because of the pneumonia, and that was the night my mom's mom passed away. So my mom always felt really bad about that. So the last thing I pictured was my mom in heaven running to her mom and having that hug and that kiss. And so it was really, really a good, peaceful, warm feeling, even in that one of my darkest moments. So I really believe prayer matters. It really does. From my own experience, I'm certain of it. Prayer matters, and people taking the time out to pray for you, to show you love, and show you their faith in your darkest moment matters a lot. So trust God, and God bless.